Good morning. You're watching Market Cafe on ET Now with me, Shriyanti Singh and Snehi Shah. And over the next 1 hour, we'll take you through news and updates from within the country as well as across the globe, tell you which stocks you should keep on your radar and tell you what the brokerages are flagging as well. But let's get started then and look at the international handover. What are you looking at, Snehi?
Well, absolutely, Shriyanti. So our markets were shut yesterday and, well, we are looking at a truncated week going ahead as well because even Friday is a holiday on account of Good Friday. But let's take a look at what the US markets did on intraday basis yesterday and, well, not so positive when you see the moves on Wall Street yesterday. All three indices have ended in the red. Now, US stock futures traded near the flat line on Monday night after the major averages took a breather from their rally. Dow Jones Industrial Average futures, they inched up just 11 points. Futures tied to the S&P and Nasdaq added about 0.1% each. But, however, the three major averages, like I mentioned, ended Monday lower. The 30 stock Dow dipped 0.4%, S&P 500, Nasdaq, both of them were roughly down 0.2 or 0.3% each. Now the pullback comes on the back of last week's strong gains, during which the indices reached their new all-time closing high levels. Now, month to date, the major US stock benchmarks are on pace for their fifth straight winning month. The broad market index is up more than 2% in March. Now, Nasdaq is toting a 1.8% advance for the period, while the Dow is up 0.8%. So, while on a longer-term basis, these moves look rather good compared to the intraday move that we did see in coming yesterday. Now, more economic data releases are slated for Tuesday. March's consumer confidence data will be released in the morning. Of course, this is US timing. Now, durable goods orders and the Richmond Fed's manufacturing survey will also provide insight on the health of the manufacturing sector. So, well, largely these are the moves coming in from Wall Street. But with that, Shriyanti, also take us through what's happening in the world of oil.
Well, it might be a breather for the US markets, but when you look at oil, that's
no relief coming there.
Yeah, that's not quite the picture there. Because what we're seeing is a little bit of gains. So definitely not a breather. Crude oil futures rose, and this was as Ukrainian drone strikes disrupt Russian refining capacity as well as Moscow orders output cuts to meet OPEC plus targets. So when I'm looking at the WTI contract for May, that gained about 1.6%, settled around that $81 a barrel mark, and Brent as well added 1.5%, settled around that $86 a barrel mark. Now, Russia has ordered companies to cut oil output to meet Moscow's commitments to OPEC plus, and this is according to reports. Now, several OPEC plus countries have agreed to voluntary production cuts totaling 2.2 million barrels per day through the second quarter. Kyiv has launched a campaign of strikes against Russian energy infrastructure since the start of the year, with Ukrainian intelligence also claiming that a dozen facilities have been successfully hit. So you're looking at cuts for 10% of Russia's refining capacity if reports are to be believed. So this is largely the move coming in for oil. But when you look at gold prices, now what we're seeing is good moves coming in for gold as well, driven by expectations of interest rate cuts by the US Federal Reserve this year, even as traders await inflation readings this week for confirmation on the timing of these reductions. But the bulk of the moves, the positive moves that we've seen coming in, have been definitely on Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin spiked to start the final week of March and reclaim that 70,000 level. And the price of the flagship cryptocurrency was last higher by 7.8%. And it also briefly rose above that 71,000 level in the late afternoon. And this was as the stock market closed. Now, Ether as well jumped 7.4%. In fact, most other cryptocurrencies definitely rode the Bitcoin wave. So those are the kind of moves that we've seen come in for Bitcoin as well.
Well, absolutely. So lots of rally when you look at all of those indices. But let's also take a look.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.